Muhammad Syafiq Ikmal bin Ismail, nombor metrik AP190264.
Chu Chaole AP190177.
Ng Kerchin AP 190276.
Hasha Huda binti Diki Zulkarnain AP190165.
Nur Hazirah binti Abdul Karim AP190129.
Nur Adriana Sufi binti Sukiman AP190092.
Nur Adila binti Idham AP190328.
Nur Afika binti Abu Bakar AP190135.
Nur Faiza binti Ikhwan AP190410.
Suzana binti Burhan AP190078.
Mr. Wan Muhammad Hamdan bin Wan Muhammad Hussein graduated from University Technology Mara in Germany. Involved in this field when he became a student in 2009 when he was a final year student at the university. After graduating, he continued his study at National Institution of Assessor in Spain. After that, he worked as probationary real estate consultant for 2 years and had obtained a real estate agent license in 2016. The registration number of Encik Wan Muhammad Hamdan is REA2635. He currently working at iRealty Property located in Putrajaya, Malaysia. The company has aggregate of 350 advisors and 5 staff and has no branches. But after merge between iRealty Singapore and IQI has taken place, they have a total of 3,000 real estate consultants and many branches have been established. IQI is a company that offers a wide range of service to its customer. For example, they offer development marketing and advisor, property management, interior design and renovation, and so on. Under IQI, there are total 16 agencies comprising domestic and foreign companies.
First is duties. For example, administrative work. A estate agent needs to answer call, emails, updating property listing, and drafting and delivering document. One example for users is perform real estate market analysis. Estate agent also need pay attention on their attitude and appearance, which is conform to professional ethic. The second rule is reliabilities. Estate agent must always up to date and keeping himself informed all of factors affecting the property. Collect relevant information concerning every property he deals with. Next is knowledge and scope. The scope every estate agent must face is very wide. For example, residential, agriculture and commercial. Estate agents must have knowledge about any factor until close deal. What type of comparative market research analysis estate agent needs to do? Rules when selling real estate properties. Estate agents must know how to prepare comparative market research analysis estate to establish realistic market value or asking price. Estate agent identify which asset or property top selling point for the neighborhood. The next one is rules when working with buyer. Real estate agent know what happen and ins and outs of the real estate market. Using their professionalism to match the buyer with a property best suit for their needs. The key role is interview buyer to understand what they are looking for in new property and owners. The last one is nature of service offer. Example service are sale and letting of property for suitable property investment, securing tenants for the maximum and minimum future management problem. Thank you.
The challenge as an estate agent after the interview with Mr. Hadam, we know that the challenge that is most faced by estate agent is to ensure that the direction as an estate agent all the time. This is because when they do nothing and expect nothing in the returns, they will lose clients and hard to gain the income. Next, the sales method are restricted become the challenge of an estate agent, and this will make the necessary to adopt an online model to sell their property and their service. The next challenge is that there are many scams happen is in Malaysia. It is because this can make it hard for people to trust the estate agent or even hack them and choose to find sellers on their own instead of going through the estate agent. For attitude of an estate agent, the most necessary attitude for an estate agent is perseverance and don't give up, that said by Mr. Hadam during the interview. Even the sales and customers are declining. We can't give up and must find new plans to solve the problem and to gain the income. Next, the second attitude of an estate agent is bravely facing the challenge. The estate agents must value their own value in the industry and know their vision clearly, for stick to it with hard work and perseverance. And next, be honest to the clients is also an attitude of an estate agent. The estate agents must be sincere and treat every customer with integrity without cheating or concealing.
Next, I will explain about the property transaction process. The property transaction process carried out by the company iRealty Sdn Bhd involves several process, which is first is purchase offer. The buyer will submit a formal written offer stating the price to be offered. Next process is sales and purchase agreement. Real estate agent will ensure the seller agree and sign a purchase offer letter from the buyer, and the buyer will make a solemn deposit payment of 3.18% of the sale price into the real estate agency customer account. Next process is permission application. For some sales and purchase case, the seller has to pay a number of conditions to proceed with the transaction, and these conditions usually relate to obtaining permission to sell the property from several parties. For example is, if the property has been placed restrictions of interest in the title, then the seller must obtain permission from the local authority. Next process is the process of paying the remaining 90% price to the seller. Next, finance contingency, which is shield the buyer from losing their earnest money or any deposit if they are unable to secure a loan. Next process is additional period. If the buyer failed to make payment within the given time, the seller must give an additional period, which is usually for 30 days. If the buyer still failed to make full payment within the stipulated additional period, the seller reserves the right to cancel the agreement and forfeit all the advance money already paid. Additional period are only agreed for 30 days only. Lastly, the process is final closing. The final step to closing a transaction requires the seller to transfer legal title or deed in some state to a new owner. At closing, both buyer and seller receive final closing document, including title and loan paperwork and house key change hand. The title company will record the transaction with the county appraiser office or recorder to put the name of the new owner on the record.
According to Mr. Wan Muhammad Hamdan bin Wan Hussein, is a REA of iRealty Sdn Bhd Malaysia. This same strategy, which is a subset that involves many platforms, and one of them is to collaborate. Collaborate has two parts, which is internal and also external. Another platform is through social media like WhatsApp, Telegram, and others. This platform is worldwide that can build more connections and easily find trust and qualified agents. The same strategy includes being selective that collaborate with the individual in order to maintain the collaborative business culture itself. And next is break the stigmas, that removing the stigma at its roots will changing the narrative and also changing the behavior. But not to forget the listening strategies with established core values like to prioritize employees to adopt this concept and applying to their work ethic by making it an integral part of the organization to make them feel valuable. Last but not least, share your message frequently. That sharing your message to the platform will accessible, whether it is like social media like WhatsApp or Telegram, and also you can make it to the podcasting. Lastly, develop a strong leadership team that will guide them to the strength and providing them with opportunity to thrive.
Next is customer segmentation. First, personal branding. According to Mr. Wan Muhammad Hamdan from IQI Realty Group, we must have a strong personal branding because this can make customers trust for our service. Second is strong exposure risk. Nowadays, we have many platforms such as social media to expose our product or property to let customer know what property we have or what our property offer to them. Okay, next is profession. Profession able to create highly target campaign that appeal to them because the higher per person profession, the higher level of property we can offer to them. Not only that, income. Income, the other one customer segmentation, which is we can give the right property that they can afford based on their income. And the last but not least, age. We can offering product that appeal to different age group. As we can understand, the same marketing would not suitable for other age or professional group.
There is 4 strategies marketing used by Mr. Hamdan. The strategies marketing is online marketing, offline marketing, people and service. Basically, Mr. Hamdan more focused on online marketing through all available platforms such as social media and websites. Social media is through FB and Instagram, while website is through Property Guru and iProperty. Nowadays is a technology era, so that online platform more widely used because it is very close to potential client. Next, offline marketing. Offline marketing such as distributing brochures and setting up a booth in shopping malls and other strategic locations. Next one is strategic marketing of people. It is more focused on the credibility of the real estate negotiator under Mr. Hamdan. And lastly, service. Service use is ATA system, which is an advantage of real estate negotiator to deliver their service. A good service affecting a good communication between real estate negotiator, real estate agent, and client.
Close a real estate deal. A real estate deal will be closed with a sale and purchase agreement, SMP agreement, which is a real estate contract. To close a deal, there must be involved a buyer who agrees to pay the amount of the property and a seller who agrees to convey the deed to the buyer. This is because the deed is a legal instrument. A real estate deal basically involves many steps and procedures. Firstly, the real estate agent will help the potential buyer to book the property which is the buyer is interested to buy. Booking fee must be paid to make the reservation. The second procedure is about the qualification of the buyer because it will influence the result of the loan whether it's approved or not. There are some documents have to submit such as photostat of IC, salary slip, EPF statement and so on. Then the agent will help the buyer to apply loan. Bank will determine the qualification of the buyer because have to make sure the buyer is afford to pay the installment. Lastly, the last step is buyer and seller sign the SMP agreement. If the agreement has been signed, means that the buyer and seller mutually agree on the price and the terms of a real estate transaction. Once the deal is complete, the seller will pay the agent for their service.
Property financing. Property financing is a loan given by a bank or financial institutions to those who wants to buy a house. There is some difference between property financing to buy a subsale house and a new house. These are the processes of property financing for subsale house and the new house. For subsale house, the booking fee is 3.18%, while for a new house, the booking fee is around 2 to 3%. Besides, subsale house involving the buyer and the owner of the house, while new house involving the buyer and the developer.
His success story: he accomplished several tasks to qualify as a real estate agent, which he did in 2016. After obtaining the license, he established a company named iRealty Properties Sendirian Berhad before merged with IQI Realty in 2020. Unexpected achievement is he able to create a platform with more than 3,000 real estate agents in less than 2 years, which is he target to 10 years to complete this mission. After 6 years in the real estate industry, Mr. Wan Muhammad Hamdan has proven that Malaysian firms can compete on an international level. His advice to UTSM students who when become an estate agent is the first one: we are on the right track. Real estate is a field that provides great investment with a large market share. Second, don't give up easily. The reason why people will always enjoy to hearing about real estate. Number 3, don't be upset if you want involved in real estate. This is because house is necessity. Every person, every time, every generation need home for shelter. The last one is always be brave. Apart from not give up, courageous attitude also important.